Hey, so unless you've been living under a rock or something, you probably already know about Magic's latest set, Avatar The Last Airbender. Now, Avatar is home to a lot of cool commanders, but I do want to talk about one in particular and how you might actually be playing her wrong. Now, the commander in question here is Toph, the first metal bender. So, Toph is a Naya commander. She's one red, green, white, and colorless for a 3/3 human warrior ally, and she makes your non token artifacts into lands. Now, this does not give them the ability to start tapping for mana. They just happen to be lands that have no basic land types. Now, however, the rest of her ability is at the beginning of your end step, you will Earthbend 2, which will turn one of your lands into a creature, a 0/0 creature with haste. And if it would ever leave the battlefield, such as exile or dies, it'll come right back to the battlefield tapped. First off, there's a lot of people playing Ugin's Nexus, which is a complete non-bow. So the idea here is that if you would sacrifice Ugin's Nexus after making it into a land, then you would take an extra turn and you would get it back and get to do it again. However, Ugin's Nexus, like, it skips any player's turn, not just your opponent's. So it would come back immediately tapped, and it would skip the next turn you try to take. Now, I suppose you could like sacrifice it again, take 2 extra turns, but you don't get to chain it as many times as you'd like, as many people might be thinking. It's not like an infinite combo where, all right, take this turn, I earthbend in my end step, I get it back, repeat the process. Because the moment you would go to take the turn, if Ugin's Nexus is still in play, it's going to skip your next turn. That's just how it works. So next off, I wanted to talk about Horn of Greed. So Horn of Greed, if you read it, and whenever a player plays a land, that player draws a card. It seems at first glance this should work, right? You play non-token artifacts and they're lands, they count as playing because you can just play them. However, this does not work because Horn of Greed is actually looking for the act of specifically playing your land, such as playing a land for turn, and this is actually a special action. So special actions happen immediately, they do not use a stack, and they cannot be responded to. This is not the same as casting an artifact and moving it to the stack and then onto the battlefield. It's actually looking for the act of playing a land. Now, if you had like an Azusa in play and you could play additional lands, it will trigger for each of those. But it does not actually work with Toph. This does nothing. It could be generically good card draw if you want to. If you have a Horn of Greed, you can slot it in your Toph list and it'll work perfectly fine. However, it's not actually going to be like combo centric in any sort of way. It's not going to draw you like an absurd amount of cards unless you're already doing a multiple lands per turn sort of theme. But yeah, those are complete non-bows. Let me know in the comments below. Were you guys running these? Are there any I missed? Definitely let me know because I'm definitely going to build this commander. She's extremely unique, extremely cool, and very powerful. But yeah, these are non-bows. Don't be running these on the list. I guess the Ugin's Nexus it could be if you're trying to get like just 2 turns when you see it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll be putting out a lot of content weekly. Thank you again. Peace.